Hello, my name's Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are Jaguar F-Type specialists. We see lots of F-Types that repeat the same kind of colour combinations. Very often F-Types have black interiors. It's unusual to find light coloured ones. When we do find light interiors, often they're paired with darker shades on the outside. But it's comparatively rare to find a car in a light paint colour with a light interior. Why? I don't know, because it really does work brilliantly well. This V6S Convertible in Rhodium Silver, also known as Indus Silver, has a beautiful ebony and ivory cockpit with ivory performance seats and ebony contrast stitching. It's very eye-catching and it looks very refined too. And I'm very excited indeed, of course, to show you around. Different paint finishes show off the F-Type's lines in different ways, and I think Rhodium Silver, like some of the greys, is one of the best shades for picking up the lines of the bonnet especially. Look at the beautiful flowing curves on that aerodynamic bonnet in this paint shade. It really is the most attractive feature. And as we come around the car, we can see the black pack accents there of the side power vents. We've got the bonnet vents on top, also in gloss black. These gloss black wheels, tornado style, they have the machine screws around, as you can see. Those aren't functional machine screws, they are simply decorative. It looks like a split rim, but it isn't. But they make for a beautiful wheel design. And these wheels, by the way, freshly factory refurbished. I hope you can see inside the wheel there. Fresh powder coating and no signs whatsoever of having been used on the road. And as we come down the side of the car, the beautiful design pack side skirts there, looking sensationally aerodynamic and really hinting at the speed of which this car is capable of travelling. And speaking of speed, let's talk about power and the way that the bulge over the rear wheels emphasises that that is where the power delivery takes place, and that is where space needs to be provided to accommodate the wide rear tyres that have the job of putting that power down onto the tarmac. Those are just some of the fabulous design features around the F-Type. It is the most gloriously good looking thing. And this one, as I say, from the tips of the shiny chrome exhaust all the way to the F-Type V6S badge at the front, the S badge there denoting that this is a 380 PS car, one of the more powerful V6s. This car is in just glorious condition, genuinely collectible condition. You could purchase this car, take it to a car show, and I don't doubt win a prize. And that's a quick tour around the outside. Next, of course, let's take a look in this beautiful cockpit. We'll supply the car, of course, with 2 remote key fobs, and just gently pressing the unlock button, you can see the door unlocks, the power fold mirrors move out into position, and we can look into this absolutely glorious space. It is an exercise in light and dark, in the gorgeous ivory leather of these performance seats and the ebony contrasting cockpit around them. And the quality of everything here is just fantastic as well. If we start with the door card, I dare say it is pretty well as it left the factory. No marks of any kind to catch the eye. And we've got the Meridian sound system, the upgrade sound system on this particular convertible. The tread plate there, pretty well as new. And then sitting down into the F-Type cockpit. And if you've watched my videos before, you'll know the point I'm about to make is that this is an environment which combines art and technology. On the one hand, the design itself, and my favourite feature is this beautiful sweeping element here, which creates the grab handle for the passenger, but also delineates the driver's area of the car and separates it from the passenger's area. And it's such a gorgeous style. And yet, conversely, all of the technology, the ergonomics, the switchgear and so forth, the functioning of everything in this cockpit is fabulously well organised. Looking in a little more detail, we have in this convertible the additional stowage compartment here, a lockable stowage compartment. I wouldn't leave bars of gold in there, but certainly things of value can be safely locked away there while you park the car with the roof down. Then we have, of course, the armrest, which lifts up to reveal a useful cubby hole, and in there we've got the SD card for the navigation system, USB power supply for charging your devices, we've got the auxiliary input for the sound system, and a 12-volt socket as well. Forward from there, and the twin cup holders are revealed under this lifting lid with a little recess in the middle that takes one of those small drinks cans. And from there, to explore further, we will fire up the supercharged V6. So my foot on the brake, my finger on the start button, and you'll see the instrument binnacle do its little self-test flying display. The steering column has moved down, of course, into the driving position, and the centre air vent rises up into the operating position correctly, like so. And we can see the revs sitting there at about 1550. That's because the engine is cold at the moment, and the catalytic converter is going to be warmed up carefully for a few moments before we drop down to the regular idle RPM. Okay, so back to the center console, and here we've got the roof switch. We'll talk more about that in a moment when we look at roof operation. Then we've got the Eco Stop Start Defeat. We've got the deployable spoiler at the back that comes up and goes down automatically as you're driving, but you can also raise and lower it with the button. Particularly important to do that if you're washing the car, of course, to make sure you clean underneath the spoiler. Then we've got the traction control off and the button for the switched active sports exhaust. That opens the valves in the exhaust system, which enable the exhaust air to flow through more freely and therefore create a throatier sound. Then the electronic parking brake, which you apply like so and release like so. It releases itself, in fact, automatically when driving, so if it's on the moment you drive away, it will release, and it does have a hill start assist feature, which makes hill starts easy. Then here we've got the on-off button and volume control for the stereo system, and then the shift stick, again a beautiful piece of design, falls perfectly into the hand. There's a trigger on the front there, which enables you to activate the shift stick and move it into drive, for example. And then from drive we can go across into sports gearbox mode like so, and in sports mode you can shift up and down like that using the shift stick. Of course, we have the flappy paddles on the steering wheel. I prefer to use these because then my hands are on the wheel and I'm in complete control of this powerful sports car while I'm manoeuvring and shifting. And by the way, flappy paddles and also the stop-start button are the Ignis switch pack, so the bronze-coloured Ignis switch is another of the many extra cost options in this beautiful Jaguar. Next, perhaps the most important switch in the cockpit, this is the driving mode selector. At the moment we're in standard driving mode. We can go forward into rain, ice and snow mode. This calms the car down very considerably. Particularly it has the effect of deadening the throttle response, and that makes it much less likely to spin wheels and so forth unintentionally on wet and slippery surfaces in the winter. We come back from the rain, ice and snow position into standard driving mode, which I sometimes refer to as vanilla mode, not to say that there's anything terribly vanilla about it, but that is to separate it from dynamic or tutti frutti driving mode. And looking up there you can see, I hope, on the instrument binnacle we have dynamic mode confirmed, and the backlighting there has turned red. This indicates now that the steering map, gearbox map, engine ECU map and suspension have all been refined for a sportier, more dynamic driving experience. It sharpens the car up and you are ready for those twisty roads which lie in front of you, I hope. Okay, back over here, and to put the car back into park, all you need to do is just tap the button there and it takes care of everything and applies the parking brake for you. Okay, we've then got a 12-volt socket just there, and then the climate control panel, which has the hazard warning light switch in the middle of it conveniently. So we've got auto climate, air conditioning on off, timed recirculation, which many people don't use, and you really should. It's invaluable for warming the car up and cooling the car down when it's been parked. Over here we've got the front and rear demist and the electric front screen demist. Those tiny wires that run through the windscreen and heat it up so effectively in cold weather and clear it very swiftly indeed. And then we've got the temperature selectors, so you dial in the desired cockpit temperature here, and also for the seat heating, push and rotate, and we have 3-stage electric seat heating available in this car. Okay, that takes us up to the infotainment screen, and I'll take you through the functioning here. So we're on the home screen at the moment, and from here we can go to the media option, and at the moment the audio is off, so I'll just turn it on but keep the volume down. We've got various sources available to us, including, I didn't tap it quite firmly enough, DAB radio, FM, AM, Bluetooth audio from the phone, and also that plug-in auxiliary there in the center console, which we saw a moment ago. Back to the home screen, and here we've got Bluetooth telephony, very crisp and clear, easy to use. Making and receiving calls is a cinch in the F-Type. Over here we've got another access to the mode control, and then here to the presently in use audio entertainment. We've got VHF radio there, and then if we go back to the home screen again and to the climate option, which is also accessible through this button here, you can see we can direct the airflow as we desire around the cockpit. Back to the home screen again, and we've got satellite navigation, of course. We'll accept that little remark there, and if we zoom like so, you can see it's a lovely crisp clear screen, easy to program with your destination, easy to understand the instructions it issues, and very warmly received by those people who do use this particular sat-nav. Back to the home screen again, because we'll take a look at the extra features, and you can see we've got in-control apps, we've got valet mode, cameras to access the reversing camera, and by the way, there is the reversing camera, lovely and clear, and with those lines which indicate where the car will travel, and also the bars which indicate obstacles around you. But if we go back into park now and to the home screen and to extra features again, you'll see we also have ambient lighting. So this is only available in dynamic mode. I'll deselect dynamic mode like that, and you can see that we can select different colors of lighting in the cockpit, and that shows up there, just there with the lighting underneath the grab handle, and you can illuminate it dim all the way through to bright as well. Okay, back again to the home screen and to the extra features again to explore the dynamic eye option. Now this is only available in dynamic mode, so we'll select that, and we'll see that we've got my setup and factory setup of engine, gear shift, steering and suspension. So for example, if you were driving briskly on roads that weren't so great, you might choose to have the suspension in normal and the other bits of dynamic mode active for a smoother ride, but still that very dynamic driving experience. And through this screen we also access the stopwatch with lap timer, the G meter like so, and the pedal position indicator. I can squeeze harder on the brake like that, and the graph that shows recent activity of the brakes and accelerator. Useful if you take a track day for the instructor to debrief you about your use of power and braking on a particular circuit. Okay, we'll go back to the home screen and come over here to look at the steering wheel, and it is the flat bottomed steering wheel, an extra cost option, and heated, another extra cost option. And the heated steering wheel, by the way, in the winter, what a delight to have your hands warmed the moment you're in the car. On the left hand thumb pad here we've got the infotainment controls and Bluetooth telephony button. Right hand thumb pad for, as I say, the heated steering wheel button, and the cruise control and active speed limiter as well. And then on the left hand stalk we've got the automatic headlamps, and on the right hand stalk the rain sensitive wipers. And then finally, if I move the camera carefully down here, you'll see just by my right knee we've got the boot release, rear fog lights and the dimmer for the instrument binnacle, like so. And then down there on the floor, I'm pressing the brake pedal at the moment, but you can see we've got the stainless steel brake and accelerator pedal pack in this car, another extra cost option in this very highly specified F-Type. It really has had an awful lot of boxes ticked when this car was ordered from the factory. Okay, so that's a tour around the functionality of the cockpit, but look please with me as well at the quality of everything here. It is in such fabulously good condition. Nothing remarkable whatsoever in terms of wear and tear or damage. It has been sensationally well looked after, and it's a credit to the previous people who've been lucky enough to occupy this cockpit. Okay, next we will take a look at the operation of the convertible roof. To do that, I'm going to spin the camera around so that we can watch what happens, and if I hold the camera there, I'm going to activate the roof button, and you'll see as we start putting the roof up, little panels move out of the way so that the roof can unfold from its stowage, and the roof comes up over above us like so, latches automatically in position and locks, and then the windows close like so, and we're ready for top up motoring through the rain shower which has appeared in front of us. Conversely, we see the sunshine coming, press the button down, the windows wind down, the roof unlocks itself and opens, and then those little covers will move into place, sealing the left and right hand sides, and the windows come up once more, and we are ready for top down motoring fun with the sun shining on us. Very quick to operate, a very simple mechanism, very reliable. I really do give full marks to Jaguar for the design and functioning of the F-Type convertible roof. Okay, that's our cockpit tour finished. Next, we'll take a look in the boot. So the boot can be unlocked either with the remote key fob or the button just above the number plate there. And we lift the boot lid up to reveal the boot space. Now, some people have been quite unkind about the convertible boot. It is fair to say it's not large, but some fairly unreasonable things have been said about it involving packets of sandwiches. You can get much more than a packet of sandwich in here. You could get a picnic for a very significant number of people. It is, of course, an unusual shape. We've got this boot well here, and then the boot extends either side and forward to quite some distance there, I hope you can see. And so if you're going to use the F-Type for touring, I really would recommend investing in one of the bespoke luggage kits, which people like the wonderful Colin Sermon at Bag World produce for pretty reasonable prices, up to astronomical prices if you want your family crest embroidered in gold leaf on the outside of your fine hide leather. But those baggage sets not only look great, but also use the boot space really effectively. And I would say they're pretty well essential if you're going to go touring in the F-Type. And just imagine, if you will, some of those Alpine or Pyrenees roads in this car with the roof down. I mean, what a sensational idea. Okay, we'll come round next to the passenger side, and we can look at the door card, which I think left the factory looking just as it does today, and pan across to the tread plate, which is perfect, and then up to the dashboard. And oh, let me show you, by the way, I don't usually do this, but there is the glove box, which drops down like so. It's got a little pen holder in there as well, and we close it like so. All in perfect order, as is the center console, and this beautiful performance seat with its contrast stitching, ivory leather, ebony stitching, in just the most sensationally brilliant order. One final place to stop, and that is right there, under the bonnet. Very substantial F-Type bonnet up on its struts, and under which we find the engine cover, and beneath that the supercharger, and beneath that the V6 power plant, 3 litres of capacity, and producing 380 PS. And that is enough to drive this car through the fabulous 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox from 0 to 60 in just 4.8 seconds, and onto a top speed which is artificially limited at 171 miles per hour. Now, those are blistering figures. This is a very, very fast and agile sports car. But the point again that I always make at this moment in our videos of F-Types is that, impressive as those numbers are, this is not a car about numbers. This is a car about emotions, about the emotion that you feel as the driver sitting there in that seat, in this beautiful cockpit, with your hands and feet on the controls, and the connection that you feel between you and the car and the road and your journey. That is the essence of the F-Type. It's what Jaguar have done so brilliantly well with these fabulous machines. And it's what F-Type owners and drivers talk about when they speak of the pleasure that they have from their vehicles. And again, you can see under the bonnet here, I hope everything is in perfect order. The service history of this car, given that it's not yet travelled 22,500 miles, is breathtakingly good. It has been obsessively serviced, and I'm blown away by the quality of the car in every single respect. It's passed all of our inspections without a single question being raised. It drives sensationally well, and it is going to bring enormous pleasure to the next person lucky enough to put the keys into their kitchen drawer. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It's been an enormous pleasure to show you this beautiful F-Type. We're Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us if you've got any questions about the car, or if you'd like to see it in person or by video call. It'll be a pleasure to send you a link to the Google Drive. That's our online folder with higher resolution images which you can zoom in on, and PDF copies of important documents. And if you've got a car to dispose of on your buying journey, we'll give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. If you need to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really brilliant broker. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I'm very proud indeed of the things that our previous customers say about us. And I'll close by saying thanks again. Feel free to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we will look forward to hearing from you very soon. Contact details are coming next.